Vanakkam. Welcome to our course on materials management in SAP S/4HANA. In this session, we will discuss what is ERP and what is SAP and evolution of SAP, and also what are the different modules and SAP and how the module approach is now moved to process approach in SAP. So these are our course contents. Here we are starting with understanding about what is ERP and what is SAP. Enterprise Resource Planning (ERP) is a type of software that organizations use to manage day-to-day operations like planning, purchasing, production, quality, sales and distribution, finance and controlling. A complete ERP source include enterprise performance management, software which helps to plan, budget, predict and report on organizations' financial results. ERP systems, they combine together a multitude of business processes and enable flow of data between them. That is, nowadays, without ERP, data were available in different departments, and to correlate them or to combine them, lot of efforts have been required. But now ERP is bringing all these things into a common database, so everybody is getting the same data. So by collecting organizations the shared transaction data from multiple sources, ERP systems eliminate data duplication. There is no duplication and provide data integrity with a single source of truth. For example, if there is a metal master created, that is the reference by everyone, that is a material. If a vendor master is created, that is a vendor to be referred by everyone. So like this, there is a single data source, and also there is no duplication of data. This means it also leads to unnecessary errors, and on-time information is available for both master data and transaction data. By this way, ERP systems are critical for managing thousands of businesses of all areas and of all industries. ERP allows organizations to perform planning, procurement, up to delivery. Also, they facilitate tracking of orders and then planning and controlling the activities, and availability of information throughout the organization, sharing the data within organization in different departments, and also between organizations. A supply chain is combination of different entities. Everybody should know the information. So sharing the data among organizations, by which it is providing visibility across entire supply chain. While the power and capability of ERP are higher, we need to also consider implementing ERP, the cost is high and it also needs a lot of data, and the implementation is time consuming and it needs a lot of efforts to complete the implementation. ERP systems are designed around a single and defined data structure that typically has a common database. This helps to ensure that the information used across the enterprise is normalized and based on common definitions and user experiences. These core constructs are then interconnected with the business processes across business departments, connecting the system and people who use them. Data is the lifeblood of every company, and ERP makes it easier to collect, organize, analyze, and distribute the information to relevant stakeholders seamlessly. Simply put, ERP is the vehicle for integrating people, process, and technologies across a modern enterprise. Let us consider a company where they are producing a lot of equipment, and they have to get this equipment and they have to build them, means they should have proper system. This company, when it is using ERP, they can track the requisitions which are coming to get the components, and they can find out which component are available in the full procure to pay process, order to cash process, and also they can ensure a clean data with the proper workflow, business process, reporting, and analytics. When ERP is properly deployed, any component will be uniformly identified by part name, size, material, source, lot number, supplier number, etc. Since the data is the lifeblood. So why I told lifeblood? This is the reason for any modern company, so that it makes the organizations to easy to collect and organize the details. A key principle for ERP is the central collection of data for wide distribution. It is the central collection of data for wide distribution. ERP systems bring order so that all users from the CEO to account payable clerk can create, store, and use the same data derived through common process. With a secure and centralized data repository, everyone in the organization can be confident that data is correct, up to date, and complete. With this way, data integrity is assured for every task performed throughout the organization, right from a financial statement prepared up to a single transaction which is prepared. Here we can understand how the database which is common to all is playing important role, and what are the different modules or functions uh, which are fixed surrounding this database, like logistics, planning, manufacturing, purchasing, human resource. And also there are advanced modules or functions which are built based on these basic functions. So ERP's beginning point is a database. Based on the database, which is the shared database, basic functions and modules are prepared. And with these functions and modules, there are advanced functions and modules also generated, like supply chain relationship management, customer relationship management, and engineering change management. Like there are many ERP providers in the market. Some top ERP providers are just illustrated in this slide. Since we are talking about SAP, let us understand what is SAP. SAP, is it a stupid and problematic, or SAP, is it simply a pest? SAP, or is a sorry after purchase, or SAP, is it suffer after purchase? All are negative thoughts about SAP. All these negative thoughts are coming because of improper and poor implementation of SAP. SAP is abbreviation of systems, applications, and products and data processing. SAP has to be pronounced as SAP, SAP only, and it should not be pronounced as SAP, because in a German language or other language, it means a bad word. So let us not use that word SAP, but please use it as SAP. SAP is one of the leading ERP software in the world, and SAP has very interesting evolution from the basic product to the product used till date, which means SAP is getting evolved every day based on the changes which are happening across the world through technology, through people, through geographical changes. All these things are considered. They keep updating the SAP as a product. So what is the evolution of SAP? SAP started with a two-layer application like R2, then three-tier application called R3, then it became like ECC, then finally now it is in the stage of S4 HANA. So what is ECC, what is S4 HANA, what is the difference? Let us see in different session. But now S4 HANA, right, it is also changing every year. Now they are updating it. You can see here the versions which they are updated every year, and the latest is 2021 version, which means based on the need raised from the business, and based on the real requirement coming from the business circles, they keep updating also to adapt to the evolving technologies. SAP covers entire business. Here you can see all the functions in a typical business. Here, a order is coming from a client. It is coming as a quotation. Then orders are there. They are checking these stocks. If it is not there, the order is planned. Materials are procured, and it is brought into the system. And the payments or receivables are which is carried out. Finally, the accounts are also settled. See, like this, all the processes are connected. Now, all the processes are handled through different modules, which are like MM module, finance module, controlling module, and asset management module, sales and distribution. Like the different modules are there in SAP. As we discussed now, SAP has different modules, like in S4 HANA also is having different modules like sales and marketing, finance, manufacturing, supply chain, professional services, asset management, R&D like that. And also SAP S4 HANA offers more than 30 industrial solutions. Industrial solutions are like add-ons that provide tailored systems which can be suitable for specific business. For example, energy and natural resources, service industry, consumer industry, discrete industry like this. Now, the typical modules, these function modules are shown here like HR, SD, MM like this. Apart from this, there are technical modules which are called as ABAP or Basis, Business Intelligence, and NetWeaver. These are some technical modules in SAP. Based on the modules, the experts are also getting developed. For example, if we take the SAP has the consultants. The consultants may be technical consultants or they may be functional consultants. Functional consultants, you can see on the right side that there are so many number of functional consultants, technical consultants are listed out here. Also, there are users who are using SAP as end user or power users. So the consultants are from the consulting company point of view. Users are from the user department or user company point of view. Now, there is a huge need in the world, the business, that is the people who are having business process knowledge. That is a techno-functional consultant with the business process knowledge. Because there is a big gap between how to apply SAP to the business need. If you go and talk to any business people, they used to say that the SAP consultants do not understand our business. They do not understand our issue. So we are not able to sort out these issues. If you go and talk to the SAP people, they will say that the business people do not understand SAP. But actually, what is that? SAP product should serve the customer's need. And also, if there is any technical needs to be addressed, the functional consultants should also be able to address them. So, a techno-functional consultants with the proper business knowledge, they can satisfy the customer needs. That way, this is the hot cake today in the market. And if you have to develop your SAP knowledge, this is the course we are talking now, consulting, functional consulting. And you have to learn technical means like some ABAP programming something, you can learn from the different sources. Also, if you want to develop your business process knowledges, you need to take some courses like a diploma in material management or diploma in supply chain management or a certified supply chain professional. Like that, you have to take and you have to improve your business knowledge. As we said, SAP is having all the processes, all the business functions are covered, and these things are covered through the different modules so that the specialized people also with the different modules are there. Now, the people who are handling metals management or the module which is called as metal management, this is having these processes like determine the sources, how they are coming from, and also the source, where is it, we have to get it, determine what is the requirement and what is the source, what do we need, and based on this select the vendor, and then for selected vendor create purchase order, monitor the purchase order, and then do the goods receipt, and then carry out the invoice verification, do the payment process. This is the overview about materials management. This is one module. This is what we are going to see in detail in this course. Next is the production planning module. Production planning module gets the inputs coming from sales and operations planning and the sales orders. These things are coming as a demand management input into the production planning module, and these things are input for material requirements planning, based on which planned orders are created to produce production orders, and the purchase requisitions are created to procure the material from outside. So this is the overall view of the production planning module, PP module. Next is sales and distribution model, which starts with the pre-sales activities like preparing the contract, getting the inquiry, and getting the quotation, and then converting them into the order, that is the order processing into sales order. After the sales order is there, once the material is ready, shipping the materials by creating delivery, and then transferring the materials, shipping the materials, and then billing the materials. Those things are carried out in the sales and distribution. This is the main function where we have to get the money, that is, it's related to the account receivables. MM module is where we are getting the money from, we are paying money outside, that is related to account payable. Next important module is finance and controlling module, FICO. In FICO module, that is having all financial accounts and also all the controlling activities. So the financial accounting means day-to-day transactions where the metal is received from the supplier, the goods receipt is done, and then the cost center accounting metal movement is done. And also when the product is completed, it is sold to the customers. This metal is issued to the customer so that it has to account the how much the money has to come, and they are collecting the money from the customers. And then from production orders, we have to find out what is the production cost, also what is the standard cost variance, those things have to be captured. Now these things are going into the input for controlling department through cost elements and the cost centers, where we will be doing analysis of the standard cost with the actual cost, do the variance analysis, so that we will find out where are the areas for improvement. So finance is to carry out the transactions and to follow the receivables, payments, and other critical parameters. Controlling is to control the activities which are happening within the organization with a standard fixer. SAP offers a centralized quality management module. This quality management module helps the organizations to create quality inspection, do the clearance or rejections and do it, and then raise a quality inspection for these materials, and then creating the reports. And the quality inspections are created based on the quality planning, and we can monitor how the quality actions are happening, how the quality deviations are happening. The quality management module is working along with this MM module, production planning, and plant maintenance modules. Plant maintenance in SAP has various activities like inspection of machineries, all measures which establish the actual condition of technical system, to carry out preventive maintenance, all measures which are required to find out what is the ideal condition of technical systems, and also to do the repair systems. And this is all these things like a preventive, predictive, repair, those things are done with the integration of other modules like a materials management, production, sales and distribution, personal management, controlling. Also here data are kept always current, and the processes that are necessary for plant maintenance and customer service are automatically triggered in other areas also. So we can have a clear integration with other functions. By using workflow here, we can immediately identify which machine is idle, what kind of action to be taken, so that a lot of maintenance activities can be done proactively, and machine downtime can be reduced drastically. In SAP material management also, we have inventory management where we can store the materials. but there we can see the stock as overall as one store location, or there may be one fixed location which can be identified by each material. But the warehouse management facilitates to handle the materials in the very minute and detailed way. Like we can have a storage type, different storage types. We can have a different storage bins and the retrievals and then put away, do a lot of cycle counting. Many things can be done through this warehouse management. Also, whatever the activities we can perform in inventory management, we can also perform in warehouse management. These warehouse management modules are also very well integrated with the material management module in system, and also it is linked with sales and distribution production planning to facilitate goods issue and goods receipt in the right locations, right bins. SAP project system is a tool that is used for planning and managing the projects. It includes various tools like project management tools of project management process like budgeting, scheduling, material requisition, planning. Especially the project scheduling manages entire project life cycle, right from structuring to planning to create to a detailed plan to execute and also the completion of the project. And also it allows the users to provide funds where needed and effectively manage and control each stage of the project to confirm on-time delivery and stay within the project, which is budget and scope and schedule. Users can organize the project by different structure and components. This means users can divide the main project into separate tasks, list them in hierarchical format so that the packages list activities and elements are detailed with the proper start date, finish date with the right responsibilities. The network function in project scheduling enables users to establish activities and their relationships. SAP has come out with a novel solution like HR SuccessFactors, where it is helping to handle human resources in the organizations, where it is providing the modern users experience with comprehensive cloud solutions, where it is built on a state-of-art technology. The SuccessFactors solution provides recruiting and onboarding facilities. Also, it is giving learning facilities, performance management. Also, it is giving compensation management, and it is giving succession planning and development planning. Now, we saw various modules in SAP, but now SAP is having an approach of business process approach. Even if you're talking with some supply chain experts, now they are also suggesting organizations to view the organization not as departments, not as individual functions, but view them as a processes. So now SAP is also now suggesting to go with the processes. So what are all the processes which are suggested by SAP? Now the different modules like a metal management, production planning, quality management, these things are now covered into three major processes. One is called procure to pay, then plan to produce, and then optimized order to cash. In procure to pay process, a request to procure the material is created manually by user or automatically through MRP, and then material request is created, purchase requisition, and then RFQ is generated, and the quotation is sent to various suppliers, where these things are converted into either purchase orders or other schedules, and then these materials are once it is approved, the goods are received in the warehouse, and the supplier invoice is recorded, verified with three-way matching, that is the purchase order, goods received, and invoice received. Finally, supplier is paid. So all these things like operational purchasing, collaborative sourcing, contract management, inventory and basic warehouse management, invoice and payable, these are all part of the procure to pay process. In this course, we will be covering most of these things as the procure to pay process. Though we are calling it as metal management course, we will be covering the procure to pay process. The next one is the plan to product process. In the business process, products are produced in-house And planning involves both production planning and also planning for raw materials and packaging materials, which are often procured from outside. This planning takes place using material planning program like MRP, material requirements planning. Procure to pay business process triggers raw material procurement and the packaging material procurement. When these materials are there in the warehouse, production process is started and they are taking the metal from stores to use these materials. The goods issue of raw material packing material required to produce a product is supplied either through inventory management in material management or through warehouse management. When the product is produced, it is delivered to the warehouse and it is again going back to this the MM functionality, which is the that stock which is there as part of the order to cash. In order to cash, here it starts with the company receives the inquiry coming from the customer for a product that the company provides. The inquiry is maintained in the sales and distribution, and the sales representative issues the quotation to the customer with reference to the same inquiry. If the customer accepts the quotation, then the quotation is converted to sales order. When metal is ready to deliver, the company issues the product from the warehouse with reference to the sales order. Issuing the products from warehouse is inventory management, which is coming from MM, that is metal management. Billing to the customer takes place. On receiving the customer payment, the payment is recorded to the account receivables in the system. So we are having a procure to pay where we have to get the materials from outside, and then plan to product is to produce inside, and then getting the cash from the customer and getting the order and supply them. So these are the process driven approach. And you can see here clearly there is a lot of integration within these modules. And also we are seeing the other processes like the request to service process where we have to the carrying out the different services, and also the HR success factors, which we just discussed. That is the base to effectively utilize the human resources, and the core finance, which is to manage the finance transactions. With proper planning and proper understanding and proper management and understanding the various processes and the expertise in the business knowledge, if SAP is implemented properly, then it is becoming smooth and powerful. Then SAP will solve all problems. SAP will be stable and perfect, and SAP will be speed and prompt. Right? See, now the problem is converted as an advantage. So in this session, we discuss what is the ERP and what is the evolution of SAP, what are the different SAP modules, and what are the different experts from these different modules, what are the different modules are there and explaining them, and how they are converted into different processes. For the purpose of refreshing our learning in this session, I just prepared a quiz session. This will be continued for all the sessions, and if you want to add something more, you can suggest me to do it. So the first question for this session is, what are the key success factors to implement ERP or SAP? Any ERP, there are some key success factors. What is the abbreviation for SAP? Please remember, we have to say it as SAP, not SAP. Okay, so what is the abbreviation for SAP? Third one is, ERP will have multiple sources of data. Is it true or false? Then what are some key modules in SAP? We discussed various modules, but there are some key modules, right? You can tell which are all the modules. And SAP modules are integrated with each other. Is it true or false? Then what are the key processes in materials management? We discussed step by step, right? What is the first step, the second step? No, what are these are the steps, the processes. So you just list down them. And in SAP, now there is an approach which has changed from the modules to the processes. What are the three key processes we discussed? So this is this week's quiz. We will see the answers in the next week, in the next session. Sorry. After understanding overview of ERP and SAP, the next session we will discuss how to navigate into SAP. Please give your feedback to improve the flow and contents, and please subscribe to our channel so that you will get the updates on regular whenever we publish these contents. And my contact details are here. If you want to contact me, you can reach me here or type your comments in the comments page. Thank you. See you in the next session. Bye. Take care.